I saw the highlights.
Jesus
He broke his face.
Bro, he hits so hard.
And here's that right hand that they want out of Canelo. Lands on the side of the head, right on the neck. Like he's already knocked him out. And it is over. They have stopped the fight.
I like challenge. That's make me feel alive.
He started fighting as a child because he was scared.
Sitting on the ropes and shaking his head is not how we want to stand this fight out.
You can say that Canelo is going to knock Bud out, but is he?
Bud Crawford is one of the best I've ever seen don the gloves.
I told them, they don't know how strong I am.
Some fighters dream of greatness, others step into the ring and take it. Canelo Alvarez has spent years proving he is not just the best, but untouchable.
He is one of the scariest fighters in the sport.
A champion who has fought through divisions, crushing opponents with power, SK-ill, and experience. As talks of Terence Crawford stepping up continue, the reality becomes clear. This is not just another fight. This is Canelo's world, and anyone who steps into it must face the consequences. Canelo Alvarez isn't just a superstar. He's a generational talent, a fighter who has risen through weight classes, taken on the best, and left little doubt about who sits at the top of boxing's food chain. From battling legends like Gennady Golovkin to dismantling elite champions, his resume speaks for itself. With 62 wins, 39 knockouts, and multiple world titles across 4 divisions, Canelo is the definition of an all-around fighter. Dangerous, experienced, and built for greatness.
Downstairs, and another left hook right on the butt. That's dirty trickery right there by hand. Holding on to Canelo with a headlock, but that's what you have to do to frustrate the younger fighter.
He has the power to break down bigger fighters, the endurance to go 12 rounds without slowing down, and the defensive skills to neutralize even the most dangerous punchers. But it's not just about what he does inside the ring. It's about how he adapts, how he evolves, and how he finds a way to win no matter the challenge. Carl Froch stated, he has everything.
Always going to want to fight. He's never going to give up.
But his legs are not there. This time, I don't think he's getting up.
Wow.
Is he counting or is it all over?
No, it's over.
All over.
It's over.
He knocked him out cold.
He can box, he can fight, his timing is great, and his defense is good as well. Canelo is not just a good all-rounder, he is an exceptional all-rounder.
Canelo looking to finish up Caleb Plant, and down goes Plant, and this one is over.
On the other side of this battle stands Terence "Bud" Crawford, an undefeated champion with an incredible skill set, fast, elusive, and technically brilliant.
Best in the world. At home. Is he the finisher they all expect him to be? He is. What a huge lead.
With 41 wins and 31 knockouts, he has dominated every opponent put in front of him. As a 3-division world champion, his switch-hitting ability and precision have made him one of the most dangerous fighters of his era. His recent destruction of Errol Spence Jr. in 2023 cemented his place at the top of the welterweight division.
Crawford was able to land that straight left jab, which is fascinating.
And ignited debates about how he would fare against Canelo. Floyd Mayweather Jr. stated, "Terence Crawford is the pound-for-pound best fighter in boxing right now." Now, with Terence Crawford eyeing a move to 168 pounds, the discussion is louder than ever. Can the welterweight king challenge the face of boxing? Or is he stepping into a weight class that will expose his limits? Because history has proven one thing: there are levels to this sport. Chapter 1, size. Boxing is built on skill, but size matters. And in this fight, the difference is massive. Canelo Alvarez is a fighter who has already proven his dominance across multiple weight divisions. From 154 pounds to 175, he has fought, absorbed shots, and knocked out men far bigger than himself. Against Callum Smith, he walked down a 6'3" super middleweight and dismantled him.
Pot shots. Both of them are looking for counter punches. They're both excellent counter punches, but right now, Smith needs to be a little bit more offensive.
Out process, but Canelo, look at the head work and then to the body, uppercuts working throughout this fight.
The body shots and the uppercuts were the best thing that Canelo did.
Against Sergey Kovalev, a natural light heavyweight, he took punches and still delivered a knockout that left no doubt.
He's caught him with the left hand and his balance went completely in the referee. Waves this one over and just like that, just as I was saying that the fight had never really caught fire, Canelo Alvarez explodes and ends it.
Crawford has never faced that kind of challenge. At 147 pounds, his speed and accuracy have made him look untouchable. But at 168, he will be stepping into an entirely different world. This isn't just about putting on weight, it's about fighting men who have been conditioned at this size their entire careers. Former world champion Dimitri Bivol, who gave Canelo one of his only losses, broke it down perfectly. Fighters who move up too fast often find themselves overwhelmed. Even Manny Pacquiao, a fighter known for carrying his power across divisions, struggled against the sheer size of bigger men. And unlike Pacquiao, Crawford does not have the same explosive knockout ability to offset the size disadvantage. Former cruiserweight world champion Johnny Nelson believes this will be Crawford's biggest problem in the fight. I think the weight and size will play a big impact in the fight. I think Canelo will simply be too big and too strong for him. But it's not just analysts who see the challenge. Active fighters know it too. Former world champion Jose Ramirez broke down why Crawford may struggle against the size and strength of Canelo. You know, I've always respected Crawford like that. Crawford is one of the best out there, man. I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he fights. Unfortunately, there are weight classes for a reason, and I think Canelo is just too strong, too big. Ramirez highlighted the reality of jumping up in weight against a fighter who has made 168 pounds his home. While Crawford is technically brilliant, the sheer strength and power of Canelo over 12 rounds will test his ability to absorb punishment like never before. And it's not just size. Canelo's sharpness and precision make him even more dangerous. Ramirez expanded on this. That doesn't take anything away from Crawford. I just feel like, you know, the jump from 154 to 160 is big. I don't think Crawford will do too well because Canelo is sharp, man. He does little things, he's really sharp, he reacts quickly, and he's heavy-handed. Canelo isn't just experienced at 168, he is dominant here. His body is built for the division. He carries his power, endurance, and durability over 12 rounds. For Crawford, this will be a step into the unknown, a step into Canelo's world. But size alone won't win the fight, because when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, size is only part of the problem. Chapter 2, Canelo's Power. This is where the fight becomes dangerous. Power is the greatest equalizer in boxing. And Canelo Alvarez doesn't just hit hard, he hits with precision, timing, and intent. Against Billy Joe Saunders, one perfectly placed uppercut shattered his eye socket. In the 8th round, Canelo delivered a devastating right uppercut that caused immediate swelling, leading to Saunders' corner, stopping the fight.
It is over! They have stopped the fight! They have stopped the fight! It is over! Canelo gets the knockout win! I'm not sure what happened to the corner of Saunders. Nevertheless,
This victory not only unified titles but also showcased Canelo's ability to end fights with a single calculated punch. Boxing journalist Marcos Villegas, who was ringside, described the moment. "Damn, that was a monster shot from Canelo. Heard that thud ringside." Against Caleb Plant, his body attack and relentless pressure forced Plant into survival mode until a perfectly timed left hook ended the fight.
I think, without a doubt, big left hook. Plant might have gotten hurt. Right uppercut, down goes Plant for the first time in the fight. And that, oh boy, he's hurt. By Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant down, and Canelo looking for the finish. Big left hook, looking for the finish. Canelo looking to finish off Caleb Plant, and down goes Plant, and this one is over.
Throughout the bout, Canelo systematically broke down Plant's defenses, culminating in an 11th round technical knockout.
The right on the left ear of Caleb Plant, and down he went.
This fight highlighted Canelo's relentless pursuit and ability to adapt his strategy to dismantle his opponents. After this historic win, boxing legend Manny Pacquiao praised Canelo's achievement. "Congratulations to the pound-for-pound king at Canelo. on making boxing history as the first undisputed super middleweight champion ever. Plant put up a great fight, but Canelo is just too good. Boxing is in great hands. And against Sergey Kovalev, a former light heavyweight champion, Canelo knocked him out cold with a single counterpunch. Moving up to light heavyweight, Canelo faced Kovalev and, in the 11th round, landed a left hook followed by a right hand that sent Kovalev crashing to the canvas, securing the WBO light heavyweight title. Canelo's ability to generate this kind of power is no accident. It's a product of skill, precision, and constant refinement. Joe Rogan, an avid boxing fan and analyst, has repeatedly praised Canelo's punching ability, emphasizing that his power isn't just natural, it's something he's perfected through meticulous training. For Terence Crawford, this presents an entirely new challenge. Crawford is a brilliant boxer, fast, elusive, and dangerous in his own right. At 147 pounds, his speed and accuracy have led to one of the highest knockout ratios in modern welterweight history. But there's a difference between hurting a welterweight and hurting a true super middleweight. The impact of punches at 168 pounds is a different reality. Absorbing punches from a fighter like Canelo is a challenge Crawford has never faced. This isn't just about skill, it's about power, weight, and the ability to take shots from a fighter who has broken men much bigger than Crawford. This is why Canelo's power changes everything. Chapter 3, Canelo's defense. In boxing, while offense often steals the spotlight, it's the subtle mastery of defense that distinguishes the elite. Canelo Alvarez exemplifies this mastery, seamlessly blending defensive prowess with lethal counterattacks. Unlike the stereotypical Mexican brawler, Canelo has evolved into a defensive savant. His ability to slip punches, bob, and weave renders him a challenging target. This defensive awareness minimizes damage and sets the stage for his counterpunching, a skill that has become a hallmark of his fighting style. Joe Rogan, renowned UFC commentator and boxing enthusiast, observed that Canelo's defensive skills underwent significant refinement following his 2013 loss to Mayweather.
Floyd went his entire career, got hit hard like 3 or 4 times. He's defensively unparalleled. I think Floyd's ability to shoulder roll and his ability to avoid shots and then land shots when you don't think he can is unparalleled. I mean, when he fought Canelo and he's like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, you know, he's like, oh my, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing, that's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
This evolution underscores Canelo's dedication to learning and adapting, transforming a setback into a platform for growth. A prime example of his defensive genius was showcased in his bout against Daniel Jacobs. Throughout the fight, Canelo's head movement was impeccable, making Jacobs miss widely and often. Each defensive maneuver flowed into a counterattack, disrupting Jacobs' rhythm and asserting Canelo's dominance. This blend of defense and offense isn't merely instinctual, it's a product of relentless training and strategic intelligence. Canelo's understanding of distance, timing, and opponent tendencies allows him to anticipate and neutralize threats effectively.
I didn't watch Scarlett, I don't know this fight.
Terence Crawford, while a formidable opponent, has yet to face someone with Canelo's defensive caliber. Crawford's style, which often relies on drawing opponents into counter, could be nullified by Canelo's reluctance to take unnecessary risks and his ability to make opponents pay for their aggression. Moreover, Canelo's defensive techniques are complemented by his footwork and agility. He employs subtle angles to create openings, making it difficult for opponents to predict his movements or set up their attacks effectively. In essence, Canelo's defense isn't merely a mechanism to avoid punishment, it's an offensive weapon in its own right. His ability to seamlessly transition from defense to attack keeps opponents guessing and often leads them into traps they've yet to encounter. For Crawford, deciphering this defensive puzzle presents a challenge unlike any he's faced. It's not just about finding openings, but doing so without falling into the snares that Canelo expertly sets, a task that has proven insurmountable for many. As the potential matchup between Canelo and Crawford looms, the question isn't just about who has the better offense, but who can adapt and exploit the other's defensive lapses. And in this arena, Canelo's track record speaks volumes. Chapter 4, Canelo's ring IQ. In boxing, skill wins fights, but intelligence dominates them. Canelo Alvarez isn't just a powerhouse. He's one of the smartest fighters in the sport. His ability to read opponents' set traps and make adjustments mid-fight is what separates him from the rest. Against Golovkin, he changed his approach between fights, countering in the first, pressing forward in the rematch. Against Kovalev, he patiently waited, absorbed data, and then delivered the knockout shot at the perfect moment. Few fighters react and adjust as quickly as Canelo. He studies movement, timing, and rhythm, waiting for the right moment to capitalize. Even when he loses a round or two, he's constantly downloading information and setting up the perfect counter. As the fight wears on, this ability to adjust and impose his will becomes a nightmare for opponents. Former champion Gary Russell Jr. described what it's like to deal with Canelo's relentless, calculated pressure.
Come 7, 8, 9, 10, Canelo coming like Jason. He coming and he dropping that shit. He setting them scuds. He setting that shit. Bud gonna have to be in shape from the first round to the fucking 12th round. And he's gonna have to be able to maintain that shit. He's gonna have to maintain a certain level of sharpness all the way through.
The later the fight goes, the more dangerous Canelo becomes. His adjustments, combined with his ability to sustain pressure, make him a fighter who breaks opponents down over time. Against Terence Crawford, that IQ will be tested. Crawford himself is a master strategist, but Canelo's experience against elite fighters gives him the edge in a high-level chess match.
I don't think Crawford will do too well, because Canelo he's sharp, and you do little things like he's really sharp and he reacts fast and he's heavy-handed. And yeah, he might lose a round or two, but he's like, any punch he throws, you could hurt Crawford and finish him off.
Ring IQ wins championships, and Canelo has proven time and time again he's levels above the competition. Chapter 5, the weight of greatness. In boxing, size isn't just a number, it's a weapon. Canelo Alvarez has built his legacy in the higher weight classes, dominating opponents with his blend of power and skill at 168 pounds. His ability to carry knockout power into the later rounds has been a defining factor in his success. Mike Tyson, a legend who understands the nuances of power and weight, weighed in on this potential matchup. I think Canelo's power, Canelo's strength, and the late rounds is where that's where Crawford starts getting into trouble. This perspective underscores the challenges Crawford might face as he ascends to a weight class where Canelo has reigned supreme. Roy Jones Jr., a former multi-division champion, emphasized the importance of strategy over size. The weight won't be the factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. This insight suggests that while size matters, the approach each fighter takes could be the ultimate determinant. However, the reality remains. Crawford is venturing into uncharted territory. Moving up multiple weight classes to challenge a dominant champion like Canelo is a testament to his ambition, but also a significant risk. As the fight progresses into the later rounds, the combination of Canelo's power and experience at this weight could pose serious challenges for Crawford. The question isn't just whether Crawford can handle Canelo's power, but whether he can maintain his own effectiveness against a naturally bigger and equally skilled opponent. Ryan Garcia provided his own breakdown of how the fight might play out. I don't think he'll win, but I think he'll put up a good 6 or 8 rounds. I believe those first 6 rounds will be very close, or maybe Crawford will be ahead because I think he could win some rounds against Canelo. After that, I see Canelo taking over. As the rounds add up, the advantage leans toward the naturally bigger, more durable fighter. In the end, this clash isn't just about titles or legacies. It's about testing the limits of what's possible in boxing. Some fights are about skill, some fights are about speed, but this fight is about reality. Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world today. His speed, precision, and ability to switch stances make him one of the most versatile boxers of this era. But boxing isn't fought on paper. It's fought inside the ring, where size, strength, and experience cannot be ignored. Canelo Alvarez has fought in bigger weight classes against stronger opponents and has carried his power across multiple divisions. At 168 pounds, he's not just the champion, he's the king. Julio Cesar Chavez, one of Mexico's greatest boxing legends, left no doubt about his prediction. Canelo will knock him out in 6 or 7 rounds. Crawford is a good fighter, but there's weight classes for a reason. Boxing history has shown us that jumping weight classes comes with a price. Even legends like Manny Pacquiao struggled against naturally bigger opponents. Crawford's dominance at 147 pounds doesn't mean he can carry the same power and effectiveness at 168 pounds, where Canelo has proven himself against elite competition. Veteran promoter Bob Arum, who has worked closely with both fighters, believes this fight is an uphill battle for Crawford. He pointed out that Canelo's power and size will be overwhelming, making it difficult for Crawford to replicate his success from lower weight classes. While Crawford has the skill, Arum suggests that it won't be enough to neutralize the physical advantages that Canelo brings into the ring.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
This sentiment is echoed by Virgil Ortiz, a rising contender in boxing, who recognizes Crawford's greatness but questions whether he can handle the reality of fighting a true super middleweight. Ortiz acknowledges that while Crawford has been dominant at welterweight, moving up against an elite champion like Canelo is a different challenge altogether.
I think he's going to be too small. Canelo is still Canelo. I think Crawford is probably number one pound for pound. But what pound for pound means if they were all in the same weight class. They are not in the same weight class. 147 to, he just moved up, right? I can still say he just moved up from 147 to 168. There are weight classes for a reason. Now, if they were in the same weight class, then it's a different story. It'll be a way more competitive fight. But they're not. You know what I mean? So I think Canelo's going to win.
Ortiz emphasized that while Crawford is considered the best pound-for-pound fighter, that doesn't change the fact that he's stepping into a division where Canelo has dominated. This isn't just about who the better fighter is. It's about who the bigger, stronger, and more experienced fighter is. Crawford's biggest challenge won't be Canelo's counters, his head movement, or his timing. It will be the power that comes with facing a true super middleweight, because Canelo Alvarez isn't just a champion. He's a force of nature. And when Crawford steps into the ring against Canelo, he won't just be fighting for greatness, he'll be fighting against reality itself. What do you think? Does Crawford have the skill set to defy the odds and overcome Canelo's power and size? Or is Canelo simply too big, too strong, and too experienced for even the best welterweight in the world? Would Crawford's speed and movement be enough to avoid the relentless pressure Canelo brings? Or will the Mexican superstar break him down like he has done to so many others? Can the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world truly make history by moving up in weight? Or will this fight prove that weight classes exist for a reason? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.